I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Senator Rand Paul went off on mask policies for high school-age Senate pages on the Senate floor Thursday. He complained that, quote, there are rules for the pages of the Senate, but not for the President of the Senate, Kamala Harris. He then recalled that the Vice President was reportedly seen maskless at a White House event after being in close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID. Here's more from the Kentucky Republican.
Madam President, I rise today out of a desire to protect the rights and the health of the young men and women who serve the Senate as pages. I think we can all agree that the Senate wouldn't function well without pages. The very first Senate page was a 9-year-old boy named Grafton Hansen. He was appointed by Daniel Webster in 1829. In those days, the pages' jobs were to refill the inkwells and clean out spittoons. Fortunately, things have improved a bit for the pages. The work isn't quite as messy anymore, but it's still a high-pressure job for a high school student. When I was here on the floor voting last week, I noticed that the pages were all wearing masks, but none of my colleagues were. I threatened to come to the floor to seek unanimous consent to end the mask mandate, and the next day, the mandate ended. Coincidence? Perhaps. The new policy states, though, that the mask wearing will become optional for pages who test negative. But once again, we see the masks on the floor. I urge my colleagues to look around. The pages are still wearing masks. The COVID policy for the Senate pages requires the reinstitution of a mask mandate if they've supposedly been exposed. Apparently, there are rules for the pages of the Senate, but not for the President of the Senate, Kamala Harris. When Vice President Harris was deemed potentially exposed to COVID, she not only presided over the Senate's confirmation vote of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, but was also seen at the White House with the President, the First Lady, and the Justice without a mask. Rules for thee, but not for me. Jen Psaki justified the Vice President's violation of the COVID guidelines by stating that it was an emotional day. I guess if you're feeling like it's an emotional day, then you can do what you please, unless you're a page. The impressive thing about that absurd defense is that Psaki was able to say it with a straight and maskless face. But an unceasing mask mandate is not all that is required of the pages. According to the guidelines, all pages are required to be fully vaccinated if their initial vaccination series was completed at least 5 months ago. The pages are required to obtain a booster shot to participate in the PAGE program. From day one, our country's response to this pandemic has made the comfortable more comfortable, while the working class or kids or people with no power have to keep on working but have to obey rules that the adults don't have for themselves. Now